Hi and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Our animal wrangler, Tammy Benson, is back as always, and our first guest is a big guy. This is Thor, and he is 2 years old. He came to us because his owner couldn't have two pit bulls on their property, I'm guessing, so they kept their older dog and they brought Thor here to us so that we could help find him another home. We do have a restriction on who can adopt Thor. We want him to go to children, to homes with children that are 13 or older. And that is because Thor has a very strong dislike for having his mouth handled. And he's also a very strong guy. He can be difficult to walk, he pulls, he can be difficult to obtain because he's so excited to see people coming with that leash. He can be jumpy and barky and things like that. And just some other things. Doesn't mean that he's not a great dog to have in your home, just means that kids who are a little bit more responsible, a little bit more able to understand respecting the animal space would be a better fit for this guy. According to our staff here, he does a pretty good job of keeping his kennel clean. He's very friendly and excited. He reacts favorably to other dogs if they approach him with a positive attitude. Otherwise, if they're cranky, then he might be a little cranky towards them. We already talked about the fact that he's just he doesn't have good leash manners. So that's something that if you were to work on with him, he wouldn't be as hard to get leashed up, he wouldn't be as hard to walk and things like that. So he just needs a little good manners work, if you will. He likes to gulp his food if you try to take it away, another reason why older kids would be a better fit for him. And he doesn't like to give up his toys, but he will trade toys with you. So that's another reason why we think older families would be better for him, just because a young child might try to take a toy out of his mouth or something like that. But he loves to be petted. Tammy calls him a marshmallow. So he's just a sweet, playful guy who needs a home that can understand how to respect their canine family members. If the energy of a young dog is maybe a little too much for you, we also have some great seniors that are available for adoption right now. The first one of those guys that we're going to showcase for you today is Jethro, and he is a 7-year-old pointer mix. He was relinquished to us through no fault of his own, as is the case most of the time. And now he's here looking for a second chance at a nice forever home. There are no restrictions on the type of home that Jethro can go to. As you can see, he's quite affectionate. He's quite a happy guy. The previous owner says that he's playful, friendly, energetic, walks on a leash, he's used to baths. They did not live, he's not lived with, a cat or a dog or anything like that before. So we encourage everyone who's doing an adoption with an existing dog to bring your dog in to meet with one of ours to make sure it's a good fit, and that would definitely be something that you should be doing with Jethro, as with all the other dogs. According to our staff here, he keeps his kennel pretty clean. He's very friendly when you approach him. He either reacts favorably to other dogs or has no reaction at all. He's easy to obtain. He's easy to walk, which is nice, which is one of the things that comes with an older dog. They do tend to know how to walk nicely on that leash. No real issues with food aggression. Willingly lets go of objects. Our staff has determined that he is very excited when he sees tennis balls. He loves those. He leans in and enjoys touch. He's been cuddling up with Tammy and licking her hands clean, getting all that treat residue. No issues with really, handling feet, just typical resisting. No issues with trying to handle his mouth. So all in all, he's just a great guy. And 7 years old really isn't that old for a dog. I think senior dogs are great starter dogs if you've never had a dog before, because they are calmer, they're easier to handle, they tend to be more socialized. So if you're not sure, if you have the time to train a dog, getting a dog like Jethro, who already has some basics, is a good way to start out. If you are interested in adding this sweet senior guy to your home, the first step is always to stop in and visit with him. All of our seniors do qualify for our senior discounts. So since he's 7, instead of going home for $92.50, he'll go home for $72.50 here at Animal Control.
And everything.
You're a handsome boy. Believe it or not, this guy is one of our puppies on the adoption floor right now. This is Lucas, and he is a 10-month-old Great Dane mix. He weighs in right now at about 92 pounds. So he will likely get a little bit bigger, fill out a little bit more. He is a sweet guy, according to what the volunteers and the staff are telling me. But he is a big dog who is a puppy who still requires a lot of training. We are looking for a home with Great Dane experience for him. That would be our preference. If we can't find a home with Great Dane experience, we are requiring that you have giant breed experience. Dogs of this size have special needs. And we want to make sure that he's going to a home that understands those needs, so that that will be the home that he has for his entire life. He came to us because his owner was being evicted. Couldn't take care of him anymore because she didn't have appropriate housing. So brought him here to us so that we could find him another suitable home. Lucas will be adopted through our puppy process, which means that we will take up to 4 applications for him. It's an extended application, and then we will choose the best fit for him. As you can see, he's very playful. He jumps up and down. You have to make sure that you have the space in your home for a likely 100-pound dog to be jumping up and down in your home. If you live in an apartment, a Great Dane probably isn't going to be the best fit for you. You want to make sure that he's got plenty of room to exercise and play. Expecting that he might knock some things over as he's moving around, things that sit on your coffee table, and just being prepared for all of those things, which is why we're encouraging the owner to have that breed experience. Based on the owner's information, she's told us that he's playful, which we've seen. He's energetic, friendly. He's a jumper. He rides well in the car, and he can pull a little bit on the leash here, so that is why we have him in an easy walker, which makes pulling a little bit harder for him. It gives us a little bit more security, and he walks much nicer on that harness. He is mouthy. Our staff just thinks that he needs to learn some good manners. He's a puppy. With the right home, he will learn those things and be a great addition to a family. If you are interested in making Lucas part of your family and you meet the requirements that we have for adopting him, you can stop in and visit, fill out that application. The adoption fee for all of our puppies is $150. Our next dog is Gracie, and she's another one of our seniors. She is a hound mix, and it's definitely easy to tell, not just by her physical appearance, but how she likes to be a little chatty. Gracie has no problems telling people how she feels, what she wants. She has that typical hound bark bay, and for that reason we have said no apartments for Miss Gracie, because your neighbors might not be too thrilled with hearing her barking and things like that. But otherwise, she's a really sweet dog. She can be a little slow to warm up, but once she's comfortable with you, she's just a little love bug. She will curl up in chairs with you. She's a really smart girl too. She knows sit, she can catch treats in her mouth, and you might think, oh, an old dog might not be super playful. That is not the case with Gracie. We gave Gracie some new toys the other day, and she came alive. Things that Gracie likes. She likes actually plastic bottles. She had a good time chewing on an empty plastic bottle, which is something that's fairly safe for them to have. And they actually make toys that have like animals on the outside, but inside it's just a crinkly stuffed plastic bottle. And she also likes those little latex squeaker toys too. Gracie, we all hear you. So she was just kind of, kind of sat in her kennel, and we gave her some toys that we actually found out that she really liked, and she just came alive. She likes to sit and play with them and throw them up in the air. She's good about playing by herself. She can catch things, so she can play fetch. She's just a really, really sweet dog. She did come into us as a stray, but she was microchipped, so we were able to contact an owner. Owner chose not to claim her, so now Gracie's here with us, and we are finding her a new forever home. Our staff has noticed she keeps her kennel clean. She's very friendly, but again, can be cautious with new people. No reactions to other dogs here in the kennel. We have taken her out. She was better with some dogs than others, so just doing a meet and greet as we always encourage people to do. Easy to walk. She has no issues with food aggression. Likes to be petted. Again, will climb right up in a chair. If you are interested in a nice, sweet senior hound, you can visit with Gracie here at Frederick County Animal Control.
What? Did you take up my chair? Did you take up? I know you're happy.
Grace. Our last canine guest today is Frankie. Frankie's been on the show before, but he is just now finishing up his treatment for kennel cough. So he was off the floor for about 2 weeks, and now he's back, and we want to make sure people know that he's back so that they can come in and see what a great dog this is. He is super affectionate. He's super well adjusted. We took him to the radio. He just wanted to interact with everybody. He's super sweet. I can't say enough great things about Frankie. He is about a year old. He did come to us as a stray. So we made sure that he's been neutered. We've given him his vaccines. We've dewormed him, given him flea and tick preventative. We've gone ahead and microchipped him so that if he were to get out again, he would be able to find his way. The community would be able to help him get back to where he belongs. He is a pit bull mix. And we have noticed since he's been here with us that he has something a little bit different with his back legs. It's something that doesn't affect him as much on certain surfaces. We have sent out and gotten x-rays for that. Right now what we're thinking is it's just an old injury that's still healing, and we're monitoring that. He gets around just fine. He runs around like a big goofball, but you will notice, especially if he's on a slippery surface, that his legs kind of slide around in the back a little bit more. And just something that any potential adopter should be aware of, because it might be something that he needs to have treated further down the line. He is, according to our staff, very affectionate. He does need some work on house training, but he's very friendly. He's easy to obtain. Even though his back legs are still healing from an old injury, he's very strong. He can pull when he walks a little bit. No issues with food aggression. They were unable to test him for object guarding because he just wasn't interested. But this is what he likes to do. He likes to cuddle, and there were no serious issues with handling his feet or his mouth. So he's a great overall dog. But just needing to make sure that people are aware that his legs might be an issue somewhere down the line. We're not exactly certain right now, but he is good with other dogs. He's no reason to think that he wouldn't be great with kids. He's just very sweet, and he needs a loving home that's going to give him all the care and affection that he deserves. That's going to wrap it up for this portion of the show. After the break, we're going to introduce you to some of our adoptable cats and kittens.
Here's a special message to Frederick County employers. Are you planning to fill open positions? Have you been struggling to find the skills you require among job applicants? Frederick County Workforce Services not only offers solutions, but will also save your business time and money. We offer many benefits at no cost to your organization, such as a member of our professional team will serve as a point of contact for your recruitment and training needs. We'll consult with you to develop a customized recruitment plan for your organization. We can connect you with grant funding that is designated for hiring and training new employees. You'll have access to our on-site recruitment event space to meet with qualified candidates in person. We'll provide you with a variety of job listing opportunities, connecting you with a wide range of local talent. All this and more at no cost to you. To connect with us, visit frederickworks.com today.
Welcome back. If you're more of a cat lover, then this is the part of the show that you're going to want to stay tuned for. First up, we have one of our longtime resident kittens. This is Ronnie, and Ronnie was brought back to the shelter from her foster home in early October to be made available for adoption. All of her litter mates have since found loving homes of their own, and Ronnie here is still waiting. She's about 4 to 5 months old now, and she's very sweet. She's a very kind of low-key. She was a little shy when she first arrived, but she's becoming more confident. She's just very sweet. All of the cats from this particular foster home are very well socialized. They're used to being handled. So she's going to make a great addition. She just needs someone who's going to understand, maybe to move a little bit slower with her, and to take in a cat that maybe is a little bit bigger. We have a lot of kittens available for adoption right now. As the weather stays warmer further and further into the winter, kitten season seems to last longer and longer. Right now, kittens make up the majority of our population, and because of that, during December, we are doing our Dear Santa promotion, where all of our youngsters are asking Santa for new homes for Christmas. So all of the cats that are under a year old here at Frederick County Animal Control will be going home for a fee of just $50 during the month of December. And Ronnie would then, of course, qualify for that promotion. She, again, is one of the longer kittens. She's in a bottom cage, so it makes it harder to see her. So if you think that she's going to be a great fit for your family, you just want maybe a little quieter kitten, not as crazy running around, ask for Ronnie and we can point her out to you. Again, all of the cats and kittens that are under a year old will be going home for that $50 adoption fee in December. This handsome guy is Sawyer, and he is 3 to 4 years old. He came to us as a stray, and he is just all personality and, and fairly easygoing, lovable guy. He's one of our few blue cards on the adoption floor right now. It just means calm, cool, collected, easygoing, and that is him. But he is also very playful. He's very confident. I recently took him to an assisted living facility to visit with some residents, and he had no issues coming out, sitting on people's laps, walking around, jumping up, looking at their Christmas tree, looking out the window. He is very, very treat motivated. He quickly found out where those treats were hidden and kept going back to them. He would jump up places to get treats. So he's the type of cat that you could train to walk on a harness. He's the type of cat that you could train to do tricks and things like that, because he basically followed me around this entire room at that assisted living facility because he knew I had a bag of treats. So he's very trainable. If maybe you really want a dog, but you know that dogs don't really fit into your lifestyle right now, maybe Sawyer would be a good fit. He did really well with the residents at that facility. He was very gentle with them, but he would also be great with kids because he is very active, likes to play and explore. I can't really envision a home where Sawyer wouldn't be a good fit. He doesn't want to sit on a lap right now because there's so much in this room that he has that he can explore, but he is capable of sitting and cuddling up on a lap. I've seen it. So he just is a very well-rounded cat. He's a big guy. He's just super handsome and needs a second chance here for the holidays to find a loving home. If you're interested in making Sawyer part of your family this holiday season, you can visit with him here at Frederick County Animal Control. Our address is 1832 Rosemont Avenue, and during December the adoption fee for our adult cats is going to be our standard $97.50. As you can see, Sawyer will definitely add a little bit of life to your home this holiday season. This is Kita, and she is about 4.5 years old, and she is actually a return to shelter. We hate it when animals come back to us, but we would prefer that if an owner is unable to care for an animal that they've adopted from us, that they do bring it back to us so that we can rehome it ourselves instead of taking it to another shelter or rescue or anything like that. Kita was brought to us because apparently there's one grandchild that she just doesn't seem to get along with. I believe he's about 10 years old. The previous owner said that she did great with all the other kids. It was just this particular child she didn't tolerate. We don't know exactly what was going on in the situations, but it is important to educate all the children in your lives as to how to respect the boundaries of your animals and to respect their space. Even if you're playing with an animal, if you're very much in their face or you're moving things around too quickly or you're touching them in an area or manner they don't like, you're making noises that maybe are threatening or uncomfortable for them, they're going to react and defend themselves. And cats are really good about giving warnings as well, you know, paying attention to their body language and understanding, okay, she doesn't like that, stop that. You know, just because an animal has done, you know, one provoked bite doesn't mean that they are not going to be a good pet for any home. We don't even have her listed as going to a home without children. You know, she is very sweet, very loving, very affectionate, has been nothing but in the times that she's been here with us. So just making sure that you know, and you would do the same for any animal in your home, making sure that the children are respecting that animal. It's not a toy, it is a living creature that needs to be cared for and allowed to have time, you know, to herself and has likes and dislikes and things like that. Other than the fact that, you know, she didn't tolerate that one child for whatever reason, maybe their personalities clashed, or maybe he was doing things that she didn't like, who knows. She has lived with other cats. She's also very playful, she's calm, she is a lap cat. I put her on Tammy's lap, she's been quite content ever since. Before I put her in her carrier to come out to the show, I held her for a second. She was happy with me standing there holding her. She's always in the front of her cage, you know, definitely wanting attention from visitors. So she's a wonderful cat who just needs another chance. As we mentioned earlier in the show, our kitten population is ever growing. We still have tons of kittens in foster care. More and more are coming back every day. So this December, instead of doing promotions for older cats, which is typical, we are doing a promotion for our younger guys like Hocus and Pocus here. So any of our cats and kittens that are under a year old will be going home for an adoption fee of just $50 during the month of December as part of our Dear Santa promotion. And Hocus and Pocus here would qualify for that. They're between 3.5 and 4 months old now. They came back to the shelter to be made available for adoption after spending some time in foster care back in October, and they're still looking for a new forever home. The way that we tell them apart here is by their noses. So Hocus is over there with Tammy, and he has 2 little black dots on his pink nose, and Pocus is over here with me trying to go explore, and he has a mostly solid black nose with 1 little dot, and that's kind of how we've been telling them apart. They are both boys, and they were initially part of our Frady Cat program, so they were very shy. And now they're just super comfortable, happy, you know, everyday average kittens who like to cuddle and play. And not only are they happy cuddling with people, they love to cuddle together. These guys are not a bonded pair, but if you're looking to take home 2 kittens, what's better than 2 brothers that already love each other, and they are so cute. I have a whole series of photos and all the different ways that they would sleep on top of each other when they first arrived. So they are adorable, and if you were to adopt them both together here during the month of December, you get them for $100, and our normal cat adoption fee is $97.50. So it's almost 2 for 1, if you will. So these guys, again, they started out very shy and are now much more confident, but they're familiar and comfortable here in this environment. So they might be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more shy once they get into a new home until they start to feel confident there. If you are interested in them, stop in and visit with us here at 1832 Rosemont Avenue, and we would be happy to show you and introduce you to Hocus and Pocus. Our last guest today happens to be my favorite cat resident here at the shelter. This is Credence, and she's been with us since the end of August, and she's still here looking for a forever home, and honestly, most of us can't figure out why. She is an amazing little cat. When she arrived, she was about 8 to 10 months old, so now she's officially a big girl. She's a year old. She is a very kind of average size, beautiful brown tabby, and as you see, she's wearing a harness. She is, because of her temperament, we decided we were going to try to harness train her for some events. She's been to about 5 or 6 events with us. She's been to House Cat Brewing. She's been to an assisted living facility. She's been to Paws and Planes at the airport in Hagerstown. She's been all over, and she's been a truly wonderful ambassador for animal control. She is very relaxed. She's very confident. As you can see, she's a great lap cat, but she's also very playful. She gets along incredibly well with other cats. She's done well with kids. She, did well with seniors at that assisted living facility. She's just amazing, and we can't figure out why no one has seen that in her yet. She has become best friends with Jax in our kitty cabana, and they were actually cuddled up sleeping together when I came and got her. As far as, her harness, she does walk on it when she wants to. She's comfortable wearing it, although she doesn't always like putting it on. We do not walk her outside on this harness. We're using it as a way to allow people at our events to interact with her outside of a cage. So she can sit on people's laps like she's doing right now, maybe in an open room, or where we don't know, how many doors are going to be opening and closing and things like that. So it just gives us more control, and it allows people to see an animal outside of that cage when we're talking about our cat events, and make sure that she stays safe. She is so loving. You can pick her up, you can carry her around. She loves laser pointers. I will say she seems to be obsessed with Christmas trees. She found one at an event recently and was perfectly happy to just cuddle up underneath of it and sleep and relax and sniff. Didn't do too much damage there. She likes to explore. Everybody here at the shelter knows all kinds of great little facts about Credence. If you are interested in making her part of your family, then stop in and ask us to show her to you. She does live in the Cabana 1. So she lives with Gemma and Jax, our bonded pair, and then she also lives with Esme, and they all seem to be coexisting pretty well. She likes to play with bags. She likes to play with boxes. She's just your typical cat who is a perfect mix of playful and cuddly. She will be adopted for that fee of $97.50 if you were to make her part of your family. We want to thank you for tuning in today and meeting some of our adoptable animals. If you didn't see what you're looking for, then please stop in and visit. We are only showing you just a handful, a sample of what's available on our adoption floor. There's so many more to choose from, and we are open for people to come in and visit Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 10 to 5, on Wednesday and Thursday from 12 to 8, and on Saturdays from 10 to 4. Thanks for watching, and we hope that you'll visit again here soon.